Alright guys, so the lesson we just did talked about describing characters by analyzing their words and actions. So today we're going to work on specific adjectives, so words that describe something, like a noun, that can also signal how a character feels. So an adjective is something like fast. So fast would describe a person. She is fast. That fast describes that she. The fat cow. Fat describes a cow. So we're going to look at how we can use adjectives, especially in our fairy tales, to describe our characters. So remember, though, we're going to come to some words that we don't really know what they mean. Like we might not know what this word violet meant from our previous section. So we would know that, hey, it's describing insect, and we're going to read on to see if we can figure out what vile might actually mean based on some context clues. So we're going to use context clues to figure out these unfamiliar words. And we might refer to these unfamiliar words and these context clues as signal words to help us show how a character feels. So I'm going to read again these first two paragraphs for us. And as I read, I want you to see what adjectives we have that describe either the lion or the gnat. So let's begin. "Away with you, you vile insect," said a lion angrily to a gnat that buzzed around its head. But the gnat was not at the least disturbed. So I see this word right here, and that's describing something. That's describing my gnat. So we're going to take a look at that in a moment. "Do you think," he said spitefully to the lion, "that I'm afraid of you because they call you king?" So looking at that word disturbed, I kind of have an idea what it means, and I know it's an adjective, but if I didn't, I'm going to show you how I could figure out what disturbed might mean. So I'm going to circle it because I'm not quite sure. And I'm now going to read that entire sentence again and see if I can figure out what the gnat's feeling. But the gnat was not in the least bit disturbed. So I understand that the gnat did not feel this way. He's not feeling disturbed because of that. So he's feeling kind of the opposite. So I'm going to keep reading the second paragraph and see if there's anything else that tells me how the gnat's feeling. "Do you think," he said spitefully to the lion, "that I'm afraid of you because they call you king?" So in this second paragraph, it seems that the gnat is not afraid of, and he's not bothered by the lion. So use this information. I think that disturbed means upset or bothered, and when he says he's not disturbed, it means he's not upset or bothered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my chart that I have, and I'm going to think about using that context that we just used to fill out some other words that I have. So we're going to go to defeated, which is in paragraph 3, and I'm going to read it. I want you to see if you can figure out what defeated means based on some context clues. So paragraph 3. "The next instant, the gnat flew at the lion and stung him sharply on the nose. This made the lion mad with rage, so he struck fiercely at the gnat. But the lion only succeeded in tearing himself with his claws. Again and again, the gnat stung the lion. The lion was now roaring terribly. At last, worn out from the battle and covered with wounds that his own teeth and claws made, the defeated lion gave up the fight." So that's my word defeated. And what context clues do I have in there? Well, it's saying the lion's defeated. Maybe I don't know what it means, but it comes right after this, is this phrase, "gave up the fight." So that's telling me that defeat has something to do with giving up a fight. So I might think it means that the lion was beaten, that this little fly beat him. So I'm going to put that in my chart. My context clues, what words helped me figure out what defeated means, was gave up the fight. And our definition is, I think defeated means beaten. Now we have this fancy thing over here. It says revised definition using references. So that's basically what's the official definition of defeated. So I'm going to click on this dictionary.com link, and I'm going to type in defeated, and it popped up on this screen, and I'm going to see what defeated means. So defeated means to overcome in a contest, election, battle. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this. To overcome in a contest, election, or battle. It can also mean to prevail or vanquish. So I'm going to copy that, and then I put that in there. And oops, it copied that link for me too. So I'm just going to delete that. So I'm going to keep going on, And I'm going to use this same idea to figure out what my next word, proud, means. So going back, let's head to our text and tell me it's paragraph 4. So in paragraph 4, let's see if we can find proud. Oh, it's right at the beginning. The proud gnat buzzed away to tell the whole world about his victory. But instead, he flew straight into a spider's web. And there, he who had defeated the king of beasts came to a miserable end, the prey of a spider. So, what do we have that kind of tells us what proud means? Well, it says that he went to tell the whole world about his victory. So, it sounds like he's kind of bragging. So, I'm going to put that for my definition that I think it means. So, my context clues, what's telling me what proud means? Is that he went to tell the whole world of his victory, and our definition is that it means to brag, pleased about winning, to be boastful. And so now, what can we do? Well, now we need to figure out the official definition. So we're going to go again to dictionary.com, and we're going to put proud in and see what it has for proud for our definition. So proud, oh man, look at all these. But see how it says it's an adjective? It's describing something. So let's figure out which one is good. So we have this, feeling pleasure or satisfaction over something regarded as highly honorable. So that's a good one. What about this next one? Having or showing self-respect or esteem. Highly gratifying to the feelings or self-esteem. So I see this self-esteem coming twice. Highly honorable or creditable. So, and number 2, showing a high opinions of one's own importance. Oh, I think that's the one that's sounding like. Remember, our fly's kind of like trying to show off. So I'm going to click on that one. Oops, but it took me to the next link. And I'm going to copy this definition I like. Showing a high opinion of one's own importance or superiority. So I'm going to put that back in our section. And now we're going to go on to our last one, which is miserable. So looking down here, I see miserables at the very end. Ooh, look at that nice circle. And there, he had defeated the king of beasts. He came to a miserable end, the prey of a little spider. So my context clues, what's telling me is going on with miserable is prey of a little spider. So something happened when he met this spider. We can probably guess what it is. So I'm going to put in my context clues, prey of a little spider. That's telling me something's happened when he met him. And thinking about what might happen with the spider, and miserable and being the prey is probably a terrible ending that he came to. Maybe it was a painful ending. So either of those could be a good definition because it's saying something not very good happened with our spider. So now, let's go back to our dictionary.com, and we're going to type in miserable and see if any of those definitions are close to what we guessed. So let's see. Wretched, unhappy, uncomfortable. Ooh, yeah, because it was an unhappy ending. Deplorable, manifesting misery. Ooh, I like that one because that's saying misery, but again, misery is kind of related to miserable, so maybe it's not the best because we should pick a word that's not related to it, because if we don't know misery, we probably didn't know miserable. So let's just do this first one. Wretchedly unhappy. I really like that. So it's just not a very good ending for a poor little gnat. So let's put that in. And so that, guys, is how we use context clues to figure out what a word means. And then we can also use a dictionary to check it as well. Now, good job. And remember, we want to use these adjectives when we're writing our own story.